Tom Maoli has his doubts, and he's a New Jersey car dealership owner. So, Tom, maybe some miracle will happen along the way where between federal incentives and the rest, and some of the costs come down for these vehicles. They can bridge that gap a little bit, but it would be bridging a chasm right now. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Neil, and thanks for having me on. But I agree. The consumers are not buying into the electric vehicles. They're coming into the showrooms. They don't want them. They're afraid of them. They're too costly. They're much more expensive than the gas vehicles. And, no one has figured out the value of a used electric vehicle. When you go to trade it in, what is the value? And if you have to replace the battery, on a $60,000 electric car, the cost of the battery is $35,000 to $40,000, which is unbelievable. So they're really disposable. And, I'm not so sure. I clearly think this is a Democratic agenda. And, it's the same people who make antitrust and fair trade laws. But, the government has taken away the consumer's ability to make a decision. And I don't think it's going to stick because the consumers don't want it. And the infrastructure is not there.
Full disclosure, I own an electric vehicle, but it's not my main vehicle. And my point is that I think for long trips, I would never consider it as a vehicle because you have to stop. It takes a long time to charge. Charging stations are busier than ever. Maybe that will change when there are more charging stations, faster charging times. But we're not there by a long shot. And I don't like the idea of the government sort of ramming it down folks' throats as if they have no other choice. There are other choices.
Correct. And, I think ultimately electric will be a part of the market like hybrid and diesel, but I don't think it's going to take over the world. And, what the Democrats are not looking at, and clearly, I think it's a Democratic agenda, but 80% of the lithium to produce these batteries comes from outside of the U.S. So we're becoming more reliant on foreign countries. And I don't think that's where we want to be as in the U.S.
Tom, another thing, too, I'm a big believer in the free markets. I know capitalism gets bashed, but I haven't found a better system on the planet yet. But having said that, let the market decide if these things are worth the draw. When you have to hand out $7,500 credits to get and compel people to buy them, even though I know they're getting a little dicier now, then there's something wrong with it. Then the issue becomes, what can the market do to facilitate this process? Well, if you're Elon Musk, you keep cutting the cost of your cars, or you build your own battery factories, or you're trying to do something to take control of that to make it easier on consumers. Let him market that way and let him respond to potential demand for prices of these vehicles when they come down. But that's his call. That's consumers' call. That isn't Uncle Sam's call.
Correct. I agree with you, Neil, and I think the government's getting involved in business. And the reality of it is if you look at where Tesla's growth is, it's not in the U.S., it's in China when you look at their last earnings report. And, companies like Ford and GM, they're struggling. No one has figured out how to make money on this. Ford lost $4 billion last quarter just on their electric vehicle market.
Then they are saying that they're confident they're going to make money off this when the world moves to this. What if the world doesn't?
Correct. Exactly. And that's where I feel. And I agree with you, Neil. I think that let the market make its own path. The river will take its course. And I think at the end of the day, the government has to step out of this and let the consumers make the decision on what they want to buy.
All right. Well, keep me posted on how things are going on that front, Tom. Tom Maoli, New Jersey car dealership owner. He knows of what he speaks because he sees it when he talks to the customers every single day. All right. Beautiful.